Hey guys, LG here. I'm here with my first book, and this is The Tale of the Tiger Slippers. So if you're excited to join in, this is going to be our first book and today's book, and it's by Jan Brett. So in case you're unfamiliar with books, Jan Brett is the author of this book, meaning she wrote this book. The book is called, the title is The Tale of the Tiger Slippers. So as you can see, we're going to be reading about these tiger slippers, okay? So how this is going to go is I'll read a page and then show you the page, and we can talk through anything special we see in there, and we'll go from there, okay? So first, when you open up the book, it's this beautiful peacock feather pattern, and that's just a really lovely touch they did on the inside there. And then when you flip through, it's another title page, so same author, Jan Brett, and title, The Tale of the Tiger Slippers, as the cover. And then we have what we call our dedication page. So this says that this book was written for Isaac Ian Hearn, and that is who the author decided to dedicate this book to. And you can see that sometimes it just says who it's for, or sometimes it'll say who it's dedicated to or in memory of. And that's our dedication page. And so that's kind of who the author wanted to honor and celebrate in this book. Okay, so we're gonna start now. I live in a big house my father built, and I love to bound around the garden. So here you have the tiger, and you can see he's playing in his yard, and there's the big house in the background, and I see a very large fence wall too, and a tree over there on the side. My friends are always curious about one thing though. Why is there a pair of raggedy slippers in that fancy fountain, they ask. It's a fair question, right? So we have the fancy fountain right here. Whoops, there's the fancy fountain, and the tiger and the peacock and the elephant. So he has his friends over, and they're looking at the special shoes that are in the fancy fountain. And Jan Brett did a lovely job. She always does. She's one of my favorites, and she always adds in fun illustrations on the side too. So even though they're not necessarily directly correlated to the story at the moment, they tie in. So there's a monkey couple, and they have a cute umbrella made of leaves, and there's a birdie up there and some kind of chicken down here. And then over here, same thing, a beautiful tiger, so that might be the dad, and bird and a beautiful pheasant maybe of some type. So I love all the detail that Jan Brett always puts in there. So let's see, why are there those slippers in there? This is the story my father tells them. When I was a cub, I lived with my mother under the roots of a banyan tree. We were very poor, and I helped as best I could. Okay, so this is when people ask what's going on with the slippers, this is the story that the tiger's dad tells. So when the tiger's dad was little, that's his mom. She's mending some clothing, and it looks like she just washed some clothing, maybe over that pot. Now they're hanging to dry, and this is him. He's helping in any way he could, like he said. So he's carrying some water maybe. And there's a beautiful turtle over here with a pheasant and a deer. Mother saw how sharp thorns and stones hurt my foot pads when I worked, and she made me thick slippers. These slippers will protect and guide you, she said, and there is room to grow. I was looking down at my new slippers when I saw a streak of white in the stream bank. It was silky clay that could easily be molded into shapes. Okay. So this is the mama giving him the beautiful red slippers that she made because his paws were getting hurt when he was walking. And then this is the stream. And so he's down by the stream, probably doing some chores, right? Maybe gathering some water like he was carrying in the last page. And then he realized this clay can make it into things. Okay. I made bricks from the clay and built my mother a pretty house. When others saw it, they asked, "Could you build me a pretty house from your bricks?" So I did. Years went by, and the slippers seemed to guide my every step. I dug clay, made bricks, and built houses, towers, and bridges all over the land. Soon I had everything I could want, and I built a grand house for my future bride. So this is the house he built his mother. And that's the one that when other people saw, they said, "Can you build me one too?" And there's a bridge that he built with the same pretty white rocks, and that's his donkey pulling a cart of the rocks. And then over here, he's working and he's moving the clay bricks around, and here's the grand house he built for his future bride with those same stones. On my wedding day, a great feast was planned, but as I went to greet my tiger bride, a crocodile poked his snout out of the stream. "Look at those raggedy slippers," he scoffed. "What kind of elegant bridegroom are you with those old slips on your feet?" I looked down at my dependable slippers. They were dirty and worn from hard work. But at the croc's taunts, I slipped them off and let them float away down the stream. So, there's the crocodile, and he's kind of mocking him, right? And there's the beautiful banquet set up for his wedding. And there is, so that's when he realized, oh, they are kind of, okay, old and dirty. So the crocodile's right, I should get rid of them. So he set them down the river. Faster and faster, my slippers sailed in the current until they reached the village dam and stopped it up. The waters rose, flooding the banks until an elephant saw the problem. He unplugged the castaway slippers and brought them back to me. Everyone recognized they were his slippers, right? So there's the sweet little monkeys again. And then there's everything's flooded. Look. And so then there's Mr. Elephant. He said, "Oh, I recognize those slippers." And so he got them. Okay. Seems like a good thing, right? A few months later, the tigress and I were settled into our home when word came that the Rhino King would pass by our village. He needed a place to stay, so we readied our finest rooms. A stork, seeing the activity, fastened his beady eyes on my slippers. "Scandal," he croaked. "The Rhino King will be insulted by his host wearing raggedy old slippers." I wanted to put my best foot forward for such a lovely guest, and he was about to arrive. I quickly removed my old slippers and tossed them over the wall. So that's him being told that the Rhino King is coming. And so he's getting his stuff ready. There's the stork who's making sure he knew about everything. When the last goat and a great herd of goats felt the thump-thump of my slippers falling from the sky, she bolted. Then all of the goats scattered, barging into houses, toppling watermelon carts, and sinking dinghies in their panic. The furious goat herd brought back the slippers and demanded payment for damaged property. Here's all the frantic goats because they got scared by the slippers being thrown over the fence, right? Because who expects slippers to fall from the sky? Not me. So here is that. There's the goats. You can see one in a tree. The dinghy is the boat. So a dinghy is a type of boat. And so that's what they were. They sunk some dinghies. Because they got scared and they got on the boats and they were too heavy for the boats, I guess. In time, we celebrated the birth of our first tiger cub. Animals came from far and wide with best wishes for our new arrival. The mongoose wished him playfulness, the peacock for beauty, the rhino for strength, and the elephant for wisdom. The monkey, though, added, "I wish the baby cub's father would never wear those junky old slippers." People don't seem to like his slippers, do they? So there's everyone coming to wish them luck with their new baby. There's the daddy and mommy tiger and their baby cub. The monkey had a good point. I tried again and again to lose the old slippers, but they always came back. Finally, I sent them by air to my old uncle who lived in a distant village. He was sure that would do it, right? When my uncle saw the frayed old slippers, worn out by hard work and sewn by his sister, he wept with pride. He packed a few things and set off to see us. So we got the shoe delivery. That's the uncle. And he saw how beautiful those old ragged slippers were and all the story they told. And he went to go see them. Uncle Ali arrived carrying a gift, and inside were the slippers. I know you will always want to remember how far you have come and the good work you have done when you see these slippers, he said. How they show the years, he smiled. So he said, don't throw them away. You don't have to wear them, but you can remember them, right? You can have them in a beautiful box, gift, and remember them. The next morning I was in the garden with my son. I am back where I started from, I said. What am I going to do with these old slippers? My cub had the answer. So he was trying to figure out what the heck to do with them because he has them. He's wearing them, but he doesn't really want to keep them, right, on. But he's trying to figure out how to honor them. Why not build the slippers a special house of their own? They can be seen and remembered for their place in your life, and you can wear new magnificent ones. Sounds pretty good. So they're thinking. That's the dad and the son. Trying to figure things out, right? So I did. From that day forward, I looked to the future, dreaming of new adventures, and once in a while, I smile fondly at those raggedy old slippers. So, this is the dad and the cub, and this is the beautiful fountain he built to honor those slippers, right? And there is the final picture. See, he's wearing beautiful new blue ones, but he kept the nice red ones in the fountain. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was The Tale of Tiger Slippers by Jan Britt. See you next time.